So I've been a part of the pro wrestling business for over 10 years now, beginning my journey as a young, spiteful 16-year-old kid, and then ever since the tender age of 22, I've had the privilege of performing in front of a live crowd. And during my time in the wrestling business, I've had the chance to meet some amazingly talented wrestlers, names like David Storm, Damian Slater, Pete Dunne, TJ Perkins, and I even got to form quite a number of friendships. And one of those friendships in particular is with the Warship, a friendship that began back when I was a member of the Solution. Now unfortunately, the Warship has been out of action over the last couple of years due to a serious neck injury. So apart from his family, what does one turn to overcome the dreaded blues of not being able to wrestle? A little thing that I like to call video games. The problem, however, is that his current setup is just not up to the task to handle today's latest and greatest. So today, I am going to fix that. Do you find yourself to be gaming so hard that you work up quite the sweat? Oh, fuck! Solve that little issue with the Xbox Lynx Body Wash. Lift your game. So to explain more about what I mean with this current system not being able to handle today's latest and greatest, the only thing that he can really do on it right now is Photoshop. And even that is prone to causing his system to either lag behind or to just completely lock up entirely. As far as gaming goes, however, let's just say that it really doesn't run Counter-Strike Global Offensive all that smoothly. That right there should explain enough. So he came to me and asked me to build him a replacement that's gonna highly benefit his productivity tasks like Photoshop and Adobe Premiere, as well as handle all of his streaming purposes that he has coming up, all within his budget of 1,400 Australian dollars. So yeah, he does know that I'm gonna do all this for him. But what he doesn't know is that in addition to all that, not only am I gonna make this thing look super pretty thanks to RGB, but I am also gonna get him hooked up to experience the latest gaming technologies that he hasn't even experienced yet. Things like adaptive refresh rates and gaming at higher than 60 frames a second on resolutions higher than 1080p. This is definitely an upgrade that he needed like 10 years ago or something, so hopefully it serves him well. All the parts that you see on this table ended up costing just north of his $1,400 budget. Pretty disappointing since a high-end gaming computer cost about this much just a few years ago. But that doesn't mean that this thing is gonna perform terribly and fall hard just like I did 2 years ago. And to the Warship, I have a very strong feeling that this is gonna feel like a $10,000 build to him compared to what he's using right now. And so with that being said, and with all the parts now waiting for me, there's only one thing left to do. Time to build. Ring the bell! Just like that. Take a look at what was accomplished. Quite easily one of the best looking systems that I've built in quite some time. But that doesn't mean that it didn't have its faults. Issue number 1, the case. Even though it's a pretty thing to look at, this thing really wasn't thought out pretty well during manufacturing, and trying to install the hard drives in this thing was so freaking frustrating that I didn't bother putting it into the video. Issue number 2, the cooler. I wanted the grey one. I bought the grey one. The box said it was the grey one. I opened the box and it was this freaking pink thing. I think we can all agree that this just looks terrible. So returning to the computer shop the next day and getting a replacement not only saved the warship a massive $13, but it highly redeemed the aesthetic nature that I was hoping to achieve with this build. I already ran some tests on this computer playing games at 1080p, 1440p and 4K, and I'll have the results in the video description, but to sum it up, this thing is perfect. So now with the system fully built and fully functional, it's time to give it to the warship himself. I just hope he doesn't hate it, because I don't want to get speared. Ladies and gentlemen, joining me at this time, none other than the warship.
Thank you, Jordan.
Now, first of all, build complete, although it didn't go according to plan in most ways. Even though this case really is quite a nice case to look at, it really wasn't well thought out when manufacturing it. However, all built, ready to use. Now, what is your current system and how is it running for you today?
My current system is about 10 years old and it sucks. So, it doesn't do very much of anything. I can do Photoshop on it, that's about it.
And you said when it came to gaming, you could only get like 15 or so frames a second for even at the lowest settings and the lowest resolution.
That would be pushing it, but yeah, it was terrible. Couldn't do anything whatsoever.
And what are you expecting from this system behind me right now?
So I'm looking to do a lot more in the way of streaming. I want to be doing some stuff on Twitch, I'm going to be doing some stuff on YouTube. All I really want to be able to do is play games and live stream and all of that kind of stuff.
Alright, and so you heard it guys, we want to give a huge shout out to the people who want to go find you?
Yeah, sure. So you can find me at Twitch, twitch.tv/thewarship, and the same with YouTube, so that's youtube.com/thewarship. And that's pretty much it as far as socials go. You can find me on Facebook, it's the same place it's always been, just The Warship, and that's about it.
Alright, so I think we got all that out of the way. Are you ready to see what is under this cover?
Yes.
Now, all of you have seen it so far, but you have not yet.
No.
So this is a official, real reaction from you. So I'm actually looking forward to this, and hopefully you don't hate it and don't spin me out this window. So. All right, ready? Let's do the referee count. 1, 2, 3. Ding ding ding!
That looks really, really cool. Ah, it's so cool looking.
Hope you enjoy it.
Yes.
And I did run some benchmarks on it, and this thing is set up for modern day gaming perfectly fine. And now the best part about it is you actually have the choice of which kind of monitor you want to get. I did run benchmarks at 1080p, 1440p, as well as 4K. And 1440p was the sweet spot for this, and it is capable of running games at 4K, although you have to probably turn some settings down to the medium level, but even then it's still gonna completely destroy your current computer. Here you go, you have a Ryzen 5 3600 CPU, a GTX 1660 Super, so hope you enjoy it, take it home and set it all up, unless you want to give it a little bit of a test drive right now.
Oh, we can do that too, yeah, sure.
Yeah, so let's go for a test drive. Alright everyone, the Warship is enjoying his first gaming session on his brand new computer. So first obvious question, how is this thing to game on compared to console and your previous system?
Well yeah, it's amazing. Like coming from the previous system to this one, it's completely different. Being a console user primarily up until this point, I thought that was sort of the best that I could hope for when it came to gaming, but yeah, this is just amazing.
Yeah, especially when you're getting that number of frames, especially at this kind of graphic settings. Yeah. looking much better than the console. So the good thing with this one, you get the choice of either going high refresh rates or high resolution. So what is the first thing you're going to do as soon as you take this home with you today?
Well, probably have to set it up, I think. You know, I'm really looking forward to that part. I'm going to get it all set up nicely in the house, and then I'm probably going to start putting everything back on it and, you know, organising it from there. So I'm looking forward to it.
And speaking of the setup, where do you plan on putting this? You're not going to put this on the floor, are you?
No, it is going to go onto the desk.
Alright, on the desk? Alright, good. Now, that means I don't have to kill you, so I can put this away. So there's one thing I probably should have mentioned to you beforehand, but I was a little too caught up in the excitement of all this. I actually added one additional piece for you. With the CPU cooler being RGB, I actually had RGB strips that I'm never going to use ever again, so with a little bit of modification, I was able to attach it to the CPU RGB header on the cooler and be able to mount it on the top of the case to give it a nice RGB pizzazz compared to what the standalone cooler would have done by itself. So, despite the actual functionality, in terms of the actual looks, hopefully you don't hate RGB or anything like that.
No, I love it. It's really, really cool.
So, ladies and gentlemen, build complete, absolutely successful. The warship here just absolutely loves it, and it's really nice to see him turn from being a very angry and destructible warship into a very happy and jollyful peace boat. And with that being said, guys, it looks like it's time to send the warship home. With this system, it looks like he's getting just a little bit comfortable here in my space, so hopefully this serves you well in your streaming purposes. Don't forget to follow Warship on Twitch, and hopefully this will serve you very well several years to come in terms of a decent gaming experience and your productivity tasks, whatever they may be, and just brings you lots of joy. So guys, with that being said, if you would like to see a full system build, let me know in the comment section below. But for now, like this video if you enjoyed it, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so already for more future content headed your way, and hopefully I'll catch you in the next one. Say bye, Warship.
Bye, Warship.
Say it properly. Oh.
Well, I just died. You just killed me.
Hey, it was, you know it was an accident.